Welcome everybody in our channel where we share all the knowledge and experience about the British property market, pros and cons, and in today's episode we will talk about what are the key things you need to check before you're gonna choose your right property. So with me today is Paulina, is one of my employees who is working in the deal sourcing company. At the moment we have around 8 people and we're gonna start probably from first thing. What are you looking for when you're viewing the property?
Okay, so when I go to the viewings, first of all, when I walk into the house, I check the walls and like the general state of the walls. So what I'll be looking for is whether the wall has wallpaper, what is the state of the wall, do we need to strip it down, can we just cover it with a layer of plaster, or does it just need painting? Another thing I will do is check rising damp. I've got this little device that usually helps me to check whether the walls are wet, and then I will try to walk around, see what can be the cause of the damp. Maybe it's coming from the basement. So all these things that will help me to get the idea of what the reason might be.
And what needs to be repaired.
Exactly, what needs to be repaired. Then what I'll be doing is checking the flooring. So again, do we need to change carpets or do we just need to clean them? Because sometimes it's just a case of cleaning the carpets. What's the state of the floor in the living room, in the kitchen, in the bathroom? Ceilings, another bit important thing. Again, sometimes it just needs to be painted. Sometimes we need to put a layer of plaster if it's Artex or something like that, or sometimes we just need to strip it completely and reboard it. So these are the main things. The next thing I would look at would be fuse box. It's another important thing. So whether the installation is new or old. If it's old, we need to think potentially about the rewire. If it's new, sometimes it just needs changing the fuse box itself and the state of the plugs as well. What I also look at when I go to viewings is boiler. Again, how old is the boiler? Has it been serviced in the past? That needs to be checked by a specialist. So all I can do is get the paperwork from the agency, but when the gas man comes in and checks the property, he will then exactly check what needs to be done and whether it needs to be changed. A few other things, of course, would be the kitchen and the bathroom. So what's the state of the cupboards, of the bathroom? Again, does it need complete change, or can we just do like a cosmetic refurb? So yeah.
Or it need to be full replacement.
Exactly. Or do we need to fully rip it off and replace and put a new one? So alarms, another big thing, especially when we're looking at buy-to-let rentals, we need to make sure the smoke alarm and the carbon monoxide alarms are fitted and working. So again, check if they in the property. If not, we need to make sure we add them during a refurb.
And there's also a roof and the basement.
Yes, exactly. So another thing is the roof. So again, I will look at the roof from the outside, see if there are any tiles missing, and of course if there is an access, because again we do have a little ladder that we always carry in our cars, but if there is access we will have a look from the inside, see if there is insulation, if there is anything missing. Same with the basement.
Because if there will be anything missing, then you will see the light which is getting through.
For example, yeah.
And also then if it's like for a long time there will be smell of the damp, or you will see like the wood is already rotted.
Yeah, it
might be more expensive to repair the roof in such a condition.
Exactly, that's exactly the case. So again, we check it, of course, we will check it from inside if there is an access, and of course if not, then we will try and do our best to check the condition from the outside, because that can tell us a lot as well. And the basement, not all the properties in England have basements, but if they do, we always like to go downstairs, have a look, see if maybe if there is a damp problem, does it come from the basement, and what can be done. So these are sort of the main points that we would be looking when going to viewings. And then when I go back to sort of analyze, I'll be using our in-house calculator, refurb calculator done by a project manager, to estimate what the cost will be.
It's still estimate, but usually it's not far away. Sometimes it's on deal proposal we have more for the renovation, sometimes it will be less. So every property is a different case, because usually you don't know exactly how much it's going to be before you're not going to strip the wallpaper or take out the carpet. Sometimes you might discover something extra, something new. Usually it's not far away, usually it's quite close, sometimes it's smaller, sometimes it's bigger, but it's really important because it's much better than if you're gonna find out other deal proposals where someone is just stating need renovation. And what does that mean? That means nothing. Cost of renovation that can be £5,000 or £65,000. And if you're gonna buy such a property, you might discover you're gonna spend a lot more money on renovation than you was expecting.
Sorry to interrupt, but if you are interested in property market, there are 3 ways how I can help you. If you would like to build your own property portfolio, but you don't have time and don't want to take that stress on your back, then all of my companies can help you with sourcing the property which will be below market value. Project management will handle renovation and they will supply you with all required certificates. And after that, you can also use the letting agency, which will find you the right tenant. Plus, we have also the accountants company, mortgage advisor company. So everything is under one umbrella. Next one is joint venture. If you would like to be part of bigger project, we can set up together an LTD company. We split the profit between us. So you are the passive investor and all the hassle is on me. And lastly, because all of those companies are constantly growing, we are hiring. We're always looking for talent. Project managers, letting agents, brokers, social media experts, video editors, and property sources. So if you already have experience, don't hesitate, send us your CV. You will find more information in the description. Thank you for your attention. Let's get back to the video.
Before you're gonna go to view a property, what are you doing before that?
Yeah, so before I will have a look and check whether the property is worth viewing in first place. So we've got a few criteria in a company that we check. First of all, it's crime. So of course we want to make sure that the property is in a good location with very limited crime to make sure the tenants will be good tenants for our landlords. Another thing is housing. So again, we want to check whether the area is desired for rentals, whether there is a lot of social housing or a lot of maybe, owned outright. So things like that I will check. I'll check EPC as well, just because a lot of times when we look for properties, we want to make sure that the property is in standard with government when it comes to EPC. So I'll check that as well and then look for things in the house that needs to improve the EPC. Another thing I will check will be just provisionally what the house is sold for in the area. So if we buy the house, if we improve the house, can we remortgage it for a good amount?
So what would be the done value? Yeah.
Exactly, what will be the done up value estimated, of course, how much we can rent for, and what is the quality of rentals in the area as well. So do they need like high-end spec or is it just like a standard? Because that will also help when doing our analysis and creating a proposal deed for our investors.
Okay, and something about building relations with the estate agent?
Yeah, so of course, as big part of my job is building relationships with the agents. This is where houses come from. For us, it's very important to make sure that when the investor buys the property, the transaction goes as smooth as possible, because this is what agents are expecting. So we want them to have proof of funds, we want them to have all the relevant documents ready to be sent to the estate agent so that the purchase process can start quickly.
So I would just summarize that. So you will probably need to do ID check.
Yeah.
Usually the solicitors and estate agents using, for example, different kind of apps like Credence, where you will need to do a photo of your face, scan your passport, scan the bill, which is proving your address, send a bank statement showing that you have funds already in place for the deposit, or perhaps it's going to be for cash, then full amount. And if you're buying the house using mortgage, it will be quite good to have already, which is decision in principle. You can do that with your mortgage advisor, and with all those documents and solicitor and mortgage advisor in place, if you're going to send that full pack to the estate agency, they will be extremely happy because they know you work professional.
Yeah.
And they will have much more trust to the person like that.
Exactly, that's the thing. We want to make sure the agents know we're professional, the agents know that we want to work with them, because by doing all of this in order, then they like us more, and sometimes they can bring us property as well that are not on the market, and we're the first to know. We've got one of our manager also, she makes sure that the whole transaction is done in a timely manner, so if there's any delay or anything like that, we can act fast.
So even when you work with your solicitor, as I do when I work with mine, that doesn't mean they're always going to work perfectly for us. So don't forget, really important, chasing job is one of the most important things. So you're going to be 100% sure you will not lose the deal if you choosing your own solicitors, you need to remember to chase them.
Exactly, yeah, because in property, time is very important and agents really like when the transactions go smoothly. Yeah, so I think that's it.
Okay, so guys, if you would like to do that by yourself, I'm hoping that will be some kind of value for you guys, so you can use that in your investment. Or if you don't have time to do it by yourself, then you will find a link in the description to our website, Bush Group, where under one roof I have all the companies which can help you with that. I also provide services with over 400 investors where we searching for properties. That's my deal sourcing company. We renovate them, and also we do letting and even accountancy. You will find the link below. So that's it for today. Thank you for your time, and I wish you all the best, and I will see you in next episode. Take care.